everyone, welcome back to Retro Rivals. Now, usually you're used to seeing us with a gaming background, but today we're collabing with Obsbot yet again to talk about some webcams. So, we have not one, but two this time. They sent us the Tiny SE, and they also sent us the Meet SE. Now, even though these are unboxed, we are going to do an unboxing to show you everything that comes in the package. We're also going to talk about the specs, we're going to update the firmware, and we're also going to compare them against similar cameras we have to see how they stack up. First, we're going to head to the website and download all the necessary firmware and the application to start everything up. Alright, so we're going to start with unboxing the Obsbot Meet SE. You have your nice little warranty card and all your instructions in the manual. Let's flip through it. As you can see, lots of information in here. We also have the camera itself. It's super small, but really feels sturdy. It's got a nice metal body. We have all the cords in here. Actually, there's just one cord. It's a USB-C to USB-C, but it also has a little attachment to make it so that you can use it on a regular USB, which I drop right there on the table. And yeah, you can see that right there. What I didn't pull out of the box though is the privacy screen, which I'm going to put on the camera, and you'll notice something else is still in the box. It's the stand to put that on your laptop. All right, so now we have the Tiny SE, all nice and neat in its box. Let's take it out. Again, we have the manual and the warranty card. We'll do a quick flip through this. It's basically the same thing, just tells you about the product itself. And then we have the camera. I'm excited for this one because it swivels and it pivots, and it's basically on a gimbal. It's gyroscopic on 2 axes. And then we have the cords in here. And again, it's the exact same cord. So it's got the USB-C on both ends and then a USB adapter that you can plug it in on your computer. And I immediately drop it all the way to the floor. But don't worry, we picked it back up. And we're going to set that to the side and check out some other stuff. All right, so here's the Tiny SE and the Meet SE together. But first, we're going to look at the Tiny SE, and here are a few of the specs. All right, so now we're currently testing out the Tiny SE, and before we turned the cameras on, I was having a lot of fun with it. So what I really enjoyed about it was not only does it, pick you up side to side or up and down like the Meet SE does, but it pivots on the head and it also tilts up and down. So if I get really low, it's just gonna follow me. And then if I get really high, it's gonna follow me again. If I go to the side, it's gonna follow me. Or if I go to the other side, it's gonna follow me. And it keeps me in center. Oh, let's center up. There we go. It keeps me in center without skewing the perspective, I guess, is the best way to put it. What I'm interested in testing too, and you're hearing it now, you've been hearing it the entire time, is the microphone. It seems like it has 2 on the front of the camera, which I think is really cool because I do believe that the Meet SE that you can see right here also has 2. 1 and 2. I do believe those are the microphones. So yeah, if I'm mistaken, I'll put that there. But it seems like it's 2 microphones right in the first. So what I also want to do is, sorry for the extreme close-up, but I like to see how it handles close-up and then go all the way back. And then it does that too. I have played with the a bit with some of the customizations that you can do on it as well. And I'm going to unplug this one and I'm going to go back and test out the Meet SE. All right, so now we have the Meet SE, and I have put it on auto framing mode so that we can test the gimbal. Well, I shouldn't say gimbal because the Tiny SE has an actual gimbal. So it rotates and spins and pivots and stuff. This one just tracks, okay? So basically where it's set up, it will track you to the edge of that screen. So we're gonna get tracking to here. Now, if I go further out than that, it's not gonna follow me because I've reached the edge of the preset screen that I've set up. But it will follow me and try to center me in the camera as much as possible and create that, create the right depth so that I'm not blurry and stuff like that. So if I go over here, it'll follow me and try to center me as much as I can. But if I go outside the parameters, it can't do what it can't do. It can't pivot on the head like the Tiny SE can do. And then same thing here, it will attempt to center me, but anything outside the parameters that I put, like if I stand up, that's it. It can't center me more than that. So again, the entire time you've been hearing the volume from the microphones on this, and I think they're probably similar quality as the Tiny SE, but we'll have to compare and contrast to see it. Now, I do have one more surprise. I don't know if we'll go as far to set up the Meet 2 that I was sent last time, because that would be an unfair comparison. This is a 1080p camera. That camera is 4K. I do have another 1080p camera, and I'd like to test it against that as well. So now we're going to do a side-by-side comparison, mostly for the Logitech C920, but as you can see, the Nikon D7500 is in the bottom right-hand corner. That's just my base camera. All right, so we are currently recording with the Logitech C920, and I thought this would be a fun comparison because listed in the comparison cameras that Obsbot provided me with, this is of similar build quality to the Meet SE and the Tiny SE. I'm doing this on StreamYards in 1080p, so just for a very fair comparison, I'm going to stop the recording here of the Logitech C920, and I'm going to put the Meet SE and the Tiny SE, record it in this program as well to get a fair comparison, and then we will do a side-by-side. Now with the Obsbot, I can have that screen open up to the side, and I have it so it's not doing auto framing so that I can go narrow or wider, and the gimbal will kind of do its thing. I don't know if I have it set up to move right now. I think I have to have the auto framing on. If I turn the auto framing on, then it will frame. So when I move, it frames, and I move over here and it frames. See, that's the limitations of the Logitech. It won't auto frame, which I really, really love about Obsbot. I think I like this one best. The color is the same. I assume, the camera has the same innards. Like it's all, the build quality is the same. Besides the fact that this one's on a gimbal and can pivot and swivel. I would assume all the hardware pretty much in the camera is the same. I don't even think it requires us really disputing it. The color and everything on this one and Meet SE is far superior to the Logitech C920. It just is. So now we're going to do a huge side-by-side comparison. The Tiny SE and the Meet SE in color theory look a lot more like the Nikon D7500, where the Logitech C920 compensates with using contrast. As you can see here with the background, I think the Tiny and the Meet look a lot better. All right, so there you have it. Again, two fantastic cameras from Obsbot. I'm continually surprised by how well these cameras stack up against their competitors for the price point that they're providing them at. Now, Obsbot didn't ask me to give any sort of review. These are all my own words, thoughts, and opinions. besides telling you the specs and some of the features of the camera that they asked me to convey to the audience, because obviously without the knowledge, how do you know what you're getting or what you want in a camera? So I mean, I can't say good enough things about what they do. Again, I really appreciate that they reached out to us. They're really easy to work with, and I suggest if you're looking for a camera that you don't need 4K compatibility, which I think, you know, not every app has it, or if they do, you're paying for that service to upgrade. So maybe you only need 1080p. Most times when we're game capturing or we're doing a live stream, we're doing it in a smaller screen. So realistically, you're not going to notice a huge difference in the pixel loss between 1080p and 4K in such a small screen. Maybe if you were working with a 4K app and you were full screen and you wanted that, that would be an option. But again, at the price point that they're providing these cameras at, I just don't see how you can go wrong. So if it's something you'd like to get for yourself, I'll provide all the information below and you can go check it out. And I want to thank Obsbot again. We love collabing with them. They reached out to us and we were more than happy to oblige and provide this video. Until next time, game on.